The Chicago Bears fall to 4-5 in the season after an embarrassing showing at Soldier Field, losing to the New England Patriots 19-3. Caleb Williams, 16 of 30 for 120 yards. DeAndre Swift on 16 carries, 59 yards. The Patriots, Drake May goes 15 for 25, 184 yards, 1 touchdown. Rhamondre Stevenson, 20 carries, 74 yards. Some stats I want you to hear. 9 sacks allowed by the Chicago Bears on 5 penalties. I'm your host, Mike Mercado. You could catch me on the Sports Cubicle, Sports from the Couch, and of course, Bear Era. And there's no sugarcoating this. There is nothing really to say. It was an embarrassing showing by this team. Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron, with all their pressure in the world, with their jobs on the line, laid an egg as a coaching staff. After the embarrassment that was that game in Arizona, after that heartbreaker in Washington, this is how this Bears team has responded the last 2 weeks. And this is mostly going to be on Shane Waldron and on Matt Eberflus. It's something I think most Bears fans can agree with. Shane Waldron's play calling, like that third down with DJ Moore and the wide receiver screen. Everybody in the league knows you're going to do it, and you don't do it well. And Matt Eberflus, since the Washington game, has lost this locker room. There's no respect for this man when it comes to being a leader of men. Now, can you make an argument that he could be a great defensive coordinator? That he's a good dude? Sure. That does not equate to wins in the National Football League. And the guy that Ryan Poles kept for another year to help mature and guide the rookie, young, number 1 overall pick quarterback, and the offensive coordinator that you brought in has been a disaster. And these players have not done their part. Keenan Allen has not been what he was promised. DJ Moore can only do so much. Where's Cole Kmet? You gave him a lot of money. Shane Waldron, you're supposed to be a really good offensive coordinator who's supposed to scheme people open and know what to do when you have so much talent on your roster. Let's take a quick look. Let's just see. Go to Chicago Bears. Let's just take a look just for fun. Cole Kmet, 2 catches for 13 yards. What are you doing to put your young quarterback in a place to succeed? What are you doing to put your entire team in a place that they're not getting embarrassed week in and week out? I hate in sports and in fandom, and I'm guilty of this, trying to fire coaches, trying to do hasty decisions, trying to do things that, are spur of the moment, heat of the moment because of emotion. Bears fans aren't wrong wanting the jobs of Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus. Bears fans aren't wrong when they look out and watch that product that is an inferior product compared to the rest of the National Football League. And I will make this argument right now. The Chicago Bears in 2024 might be, per capita, the worst team this Bears franchise has ever had when you take into account the type of talent it has. It is inexcusable that a team with DJ Moore and Cole Kmet and Keenan Allen and DeAndre Swift to be that bad, to be that inept at offense. It's not just injuries. It's not just they're not executing. They're not being put in positions to execute good plays because they're non-existent. And this defense that was heralded, that did play well, that did do a lot of their job for a beginning part of this season, has finally just broken because of injuries and time on the field. And look at 19 points. You should be able to win that. Still, all that being said, right? And as much as people are going to try to dunk on this defense for not, scoring touchdowns, they did get a turnover, but I don't know what else they can do. They still kept this team in the game with a chance to win. And I have to be honest, Caleb Williams does not look good. He hasn't. Not when I could see Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix and some of these young rookie quarterbacks balling out. But how much of that can I blame on Caleb when he's getting sacked 9 times in a game? Guys, 9 times in a game against the New England Patriots. This isn't a roll beater. This isn't even a good team. This is a bottom dweller in the National Football League, a 3-7 team now. After they beat you, they were 2-6 going into it, 9 sacks. You can't have that. That is malpractice. So what do? Look at firing Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron. The team isn't going to go on a 7-game winning streak. They've probably won the last game they're going to win. It's already probably happened. They might sneak a win against Seattle. Maybe they beat a Detroit or Minnesota by accident. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a massacre. It's going to be horrible what happens next week, which we'll get to in a second. But right now, in this moment, they have to make a move. What does that say to your franchise, to your players, to your fan base, to the NFL if you stay put, stay stagnant, and keep this coaching staff the exact same way it is, if nothing changes? And nothing will change when it's Hightower calling the head coach of the team now, or if Matt Eberflus stops calling the defense and worries more about being a CEO, or if he fires Shane Waldron, whatever the case may be. This offensive line is bad, and that falls on Ryan Poles. This loss, this losing streak, the way this season has not lost momentum, but has derailed, falls not only on Matt Eberflus, not only on Shane Waldron, but also on Ryan Poles, who I'm a fan of, who has made really good moves, who is one of the reasons why Caleb Williams is currently playing for the Chicago Bears. He put this offensive line together. He scouted this offensive line. He's supposed to be the expert on the position. 9 sacks against the New England Patriots today. No coaching change is going to stop that. So we do live in a reality now where the 4-5 Chicago Bears are now on a 3-game losing streak, have just allowed their rookie quarterback to be sacked over 12 times in the last 2 games, 9 specifically just this weekend, and you have a date against the Green Bay Packers. Oh, and then after that, the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, and if you want one more early Christmas present, how about Thanksgiving Day in Detroit? This is not going to get better. This is going to get worse. Even if the Bears find a way to win a game, what do you see for this Bears team this season? We live on the mantra here, right on the Sports Cubicle, Sports from the Couch, Bear Era. Thank you all for joining us here on this postgame show as the Chicago Bears fall to the New England Patriots 19-3. The one mantra we live by is, what happened last week? What did I see this week? What's going to bring on next week? 3-week intervals. That's how we can judge things. We thought things going to get worse than they were last week against Arizona. And then we saw with this team how they responded. Not only how they responded to that Washington loss, to the Hail Mary game, how they showed up in Arizona and laid an egg against the Cardinals, but then have a chance where they have a winning streak at home, where everything is supposed to be good against an inferior team and a rookie quarterback of their own. That's how they responded. That's how that team responded. Does that seem like a team that is playing for their head coach, that is listening to their head coach, that believes in the system that the offensive coordinator is showing? No, it doesn't. You don't have to be an expert on ESPN or on Fox or CBS, have a top tier podcast to know what you're seeing. And now you have to sit there and watch this team try to figure it out. The bye week is over, guys. Nobody's coming through. The trade deadline is come and gone. You got to watch this team now try to survive this hell of a gauntlet that they have. And it doesn't get easier. After Thanksgiving, you're going to San Francisco. And then right back to your division against Minnesota and Detroit. You have a game against Seattle, and then you finish the game against the Packers. The Bears might have won their last game 3 weeks ago in London. It's not going to get any better. It's not. And I wish I could just sit here and tell you all the bright spots. TJ Edwards has an interception. That's great. That's great that this team once again kept the team to 19 points. It means nothing. Look at these scores. It's something I mentioned a few weeks back. 3 total points, 9 points last week, 15 points against Washington. Take away the crazy games that were against Carolina and Jacksonville. This team put up 24 points against Tennessee. We knew some of those points came from defense. 13 against the Texans, 16 against the Colts, 24 against the Rams. A little bit more again, but defense was involved in that. At no point this season has it worked. Has it shown life of working? We've seen glimpses of the talent being bigger than the system. A DJ Moore, a Swift, a Caleb, a Roma Dunze, a Cole Kmet, because we know that they're not scheming him. These guys have been bigger than the system when they play better. Other than that, it has been all-encompassing, dragging down the talent on this team. And that goes strictly on and falls on the doorstep of Shane Waldron. I don't believe Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren have the say-so, have the authority, or the blessing from the McCaskies to fire Matt Eberflus this season. I think they might fire Shane Waldron. I think they might switch around coordinating positions. But this is still the same organization that has done the same dumb things year in and year out. You look at Washington, and Jaden Daniels is a hell of a quarterback. I think a lot of people believe Caleb Williams is just as good. They both do special things. The difference of Jaden Daniels going to a Washington Commanders team that has new ownership, that might just be bright enough to understand how this game works, to hire people that know how this game works, to utilize the talents and their assets to the best of their abilities, might be what takes Jaden Daniels and this new regime of Washington over the top. Caleb Williams has to overcome the McCaskies and the Chicago Bears. Kevin Warren's worried about a stadium. Ryan Poles is putting his name to bad coaches and bad moves from Chase Claypool on. Caleb Williams and a lot of this talent has to overcome an organization that consistently shoots itself in the foot. That's what Bears fans are facing right now. And it's unfortunate, but they have given you no other outlook, especially with the product they have put out in the field. The Bears fall to the New England Patriots 19-3, now 4-5 in the season. Caleb Williams sacked 9 times in this game at Soldier Field, and now awaiting the Chicago Bears a date at the lakefront against the Green Bay Packers. We want to know your thoughts. What did you think about this game? What do you think about the future of this Bears team, the future of this coaching staff, what the rest of the season entails? I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media, Instagram, Mike Mercado Media. Make sure you're checking us out over at Sports from the Couch. Wherever you get your favorite podcast, just search for Sports from the Couch. Check us out at the Sports Cubicle on WCPT 820 SoundCloud and HeartlandSignal.com every Sunday night here in Chicago. That is the Sports Cubicle on YouTube as well. And of course, you want more Bears content, you want the best Bears content you could find, follow us at Bear Era. Just search us on YouTube or wherever you get your favorite podcast. It's myself, Mike Mercado, Kieran Hall, and EJ Snyder, your home for Bears Talk. And sorry, Bears fans. I'm sorry for a lot of you that you had a lot of faith in this team, but it is not being rescinded and you're not being rewarded for it. But the Bears fall to the Patriots 19-3, 4-5 in the season. Green Bay is next, and things are not looking good over at Soldier Field in Halisaw. So we will see how the fallout is to this embarrassing loss in Chicago. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of week 10. We will see you next time. I'm Mike Mercado.